I'm Ava Maybee, and I'm here with Pursuit of Dopeness.
So, for those who may be new to your music, who is Ava Maybee?
Oh my God. Ava Maybee is an artist. Ava Maybee talking about myself in the third person is so ick. I make pop music, rock music, some indie in there. I write about mental health. I write about breakups. And I would say my music is very unapologetic.
I love that. You need to be your raw, authentic self, because I feel as if the crowd and just your fans, that's why they're a fan of you.
Totally.
Like,
I would hope so. That's the
want.
reason why I connect with music, and just I think that it's really important being an artist, and then also like a young female artist, to be like completely unapologetic with your emotions and show every possible range of them.
Totally.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
We got to show it.
Exactly. And so you said that your genres now are pop, rock, and then a little bit alternative.
Yeah.
When I saw you perform yesterday, you had mentioned that you first started out with R&B.
Yeah.
So what did that kind of look like for you to discover a different sound for yourself?
Yeah. So I grew up in gospel choir, and I have a lower voice for a woman, so soul music always just was really in my range, and I really connected to it. And so, and I grew up in like a cappella choirs. And so, that's why it just made sense to make like R&B pop. And then I just realized there was a huge disconnect with like what inspired me and what music I love to listen to, which is rock and like alternative. And so I was just like, okay, we'll mix it all together.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the nice thing too with artists specifically, because you don't just put yourself in this box.
Totally.
And I think it's
really
all
pop.
hard.
It's all popular music. Like that's not a genre. You know what I mean? So when people ask me what music I make, I'm like pop. You know what I mean?
You're
like that's just
I do a little bit of everything.
Exactly.
And you just got to really train your ear to really listen to the different elements
that's
that we have.
Exactly right.
And then how would you describe your Lala performance in one word from yesterday compared to last year?
Oh my Lord. I would say excited, passionate, I would say. I was just so stoked to be there, and I was here last year. My dad played, some of my best friends played, and so I got to be here and like be a viewer and a fan.
Yeah.
And then now I get to play myself, so that was so cool.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I really love how what's the word I'm looking for? You're very vocal about bringing in your team and showing them and have a stage presence. So I really just like give you credit for that, because sometimes I feel like the people that are helping you don't get as much recognition, and you did a really nice job of that yesterday.
Thank
your performance.
you. I love my band so much, my crew, everyone is just, I don't know, especially when you're like a green artist like me, like your success is their success. You want everyone to come up together. Like that's the whole point.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so then too, how does it feel? Because I was looking at your Spotify, and you know how sometimes they'll tell you the stats of like who is listening to you the most from what cities?
Yeah.
Chicago's number one for you.
Yes.
How does it feel to perform in the city that you have the most listeners?
It's awesome. I love Chicago. I have done 2 tours where we've gone through Chicago, and they're some of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah.
It feels so cool. It's really awesome. I literally want to move here. It's so awesome.
You should.
It's so amazing.
We need Ava Maybee here.
Yes, totally.
And then my last question for this little round is, what does 2024 have in store for you? The rest of it.
I'm like, we're almost done, which is like so scary.
I know.
I don't like how time works. Anyways, I'm working on my EP, and then 2025 is going to be a big tour year for me. So I'm really excited. I've only put out singles.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a body of work, and then just promote the shit out of it, because that's what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to have 2 shows in Chicago, because it's going to sell
I would
out
love
immediately.
that.
Yeah, it's
It'd
going to happen.
be so awesome.
Sick.
We have actually one question from the crowd.
Sure.
I was covering there too.
Sure.
I asked a fan. So somebody from the crowd, this is from Jaden Marie. What song are you most proud of?
The song I'm most proud of would be, I would go with Limerence, because it's my only like ballad that I've ever put out, and ballads are tough, I feel like, to be compelling and still cool. And it's just a very raw and vulnerable song. So I would say Limerence. I love that song. It's the hardest to perform. Every single time I see it on my set list, I'm like, oh God, here we go. But I love that song.
Hell yeah. And I feel like too, just to bounce off of that, when the one that's trickiest is often the most rewarding.
100%.
You just think back to yourself like, holy shit, I did that.
100%. Every single time I sing that song, I'm like, cool, great.
Yes.
On to the next. This is great.
Sick.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.